Hey guys, it's me, Lydia. I am back with another video, and this is the ranking of the 24 Pixar films, because yes, I have watched them all, and I decided I'm gonna jump on this bandwagon? So coming in at number 24 is The Good Dinosaur, and I know it's not many people's favorites, and it's definitely not one of my favorites. The animation, though, is really good. I've only actually seen this film once, if I'm going to be honest, because I really don't like it. This is like the only Pixar film that I don't like. All the other Pixar films are okay, or they're like really good. So, and I am also going to rank these films on a scale of 1 to 10 because that's how I rank my movies and my food reviews. So The Good Dinosaur, I would probably give it like a 4 out of 10. So coming in at number 23 is Brave, and I know it feels like this falls short on a lot of people's lists as well. It seems, for me, I feel like I ranked this kind of low, if I'm going to be honest, but it's just so hard. It's so hard to rank these Pixar films. And just the rewatchability for this film is not really high for me. And Merida, in my opinion, can be a little bit too much at times. I wish they would tone her down just a little bit. And the plot gets a little wonky kind of in the middle towards the end of the film, but it starts off really good, and the music is good as well. So I am going to give Brave a 5 out of 10. So coming in at number 22 is Cars 2. And I know most people put this at the bottom of the film, but I do like it better in a way than The Good Dinosaur and Brave. To me, it's still like the plot is still really, really choppy, and it's kind of cool in a way that they put Mater in the main role, but not. He should have still been like the side character, in my opinion, and they kind of jump around. It doesn't know if it wants to be like an action movie or like a spy movie or a racing movie. It's like it jumps around, but in a way I kind of like that. In a way, it's kind of weird. I like that, but I don't. So I'm going to give it that a 5 out of 10 as well, because I do actually enjoy the potty humor in this film a little bit. So coming in at number 21 is A Bug's Life. And yeah, I seen A Bug's Life when I was younger, but I never really got into it, and I actually just recently purchased the DVD, and I watched it for my other previous Pixar ranking films. It's, to me, the animation seems to not be the best. I know it was from 1998, but the animation in Toy Story was better, and that film came out before A Bug's Life. I know they were being created around the same time, and to me, the bugs all look the same. But the story it has like a good story in a way, even though it's really plain and basic. So that's kind of fell short, and to me, it seems underrated. I don't think people give it enough credit. But this film has just never been one of my favorites. The animation, though, in this film is really good, and that is coming in at number 20, and that is WALLE. I'm so sorry that I ranked WALLE. Why is my voice weird? That I ranked WALLE so low. I just didn't like this film when I was younger, so it doesn't have a lot of nostalgia for me. And I rank these films based a lot on nostalgia and rewatchability, the music, a lot of different factors. But the animation's really good, like I've said 20 billion times. I like the dynamic between WALLE and Eve. I do like in a way that they went with no dialogue, but I kind of wish they went with dialogue sooner in a way, because I could see it not keeping people's attention span that well, and I have a really short attention span, so that's probably why I didn't enjoy it. that much. So coming in at number 19 is Cars 3. And this one is better than the second film, but not as good as the first one. Cars 3 has a lot more better racing scenes. The plot is better, the structure. So we'll keep it as that. Cars 3 is a solid film. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna give WALLE a 6.5 out of 10. So, and I'm gonna give Cars 3 a 6.5 out of 10 as well. Coming in at number 18, I'm gonna get bashed for this as well, but it's Inside Out. I like Inside Out. It is a solid film, but it's just not one of my favorites in a way. Like, it is kind of messy in some parts, which I didn't like. I do like Bing Bong. I think Bing Bong's really cute, but I feel like they went a little over the top in a way with the whole, like, emotions in Riley's head. I kind of wish they went in a different aspect, but at the time it was really different and unique for Pixar, which I do like. The animation is good as well. I just don't remember much music, and to me, Riley and her family are really not that memorable to me. So I am going to give it a 7 out of 10. What is this? Oh, it's the fridge, guys. The fridge is sounding weird. So coming in at number 17, I feel like I'm going to get bashed for this too. It is Up. I did like the film when it came out. I do like the film now. The first 10 minutes is, I gotta say, like everybody else, is the better part of the movie. A lot more, like, emotion there, but then it gets kind of funny. I actually find the villain okay. The villain's okay-ish. The plot, to me, could have been better in a way. I do like the aspect that they went with it. I do like the characters. One of my favorite scenes in animation history is the balloons lifting the house up. I would love that scene, and that's probably one of my favorite scenes in any movie. So I'll give it that, and I'm gonna give that a 7 out of 10 as well. Coming in at number 16 is the movie Cars. And to me, I feel bad. I feel like I put this kind of lower for me on my list, because I used to be obsessed with this movie. Like, obsessed. Like, my bedroom was Cars theme. But if I'm gonna be honest, I really don't rewatch this film as I used to. I like the music in it. The animation's solid. The way that the cars, how they try to put emotion in the cars, I don't know, I find it kind of like, I don't know, strange in a way. I don't know if I like dislike it or like it. It's just kind of meh. But I do like the Cars characters. Lightning McQueen is really cocky in this film, but as like the films grow on, we see Lightning McQueen grow up and mature, which is good to see. If you're watching the Cars movies from the first one to the third one, you can see the growth in Lightning McQueen, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to give that a 7 out of 10 as well. Coming in at number 15, and I feel like I put this one low on, I feel like this one's I feel like people rank this one high, kind of high in my opinion, and it is Ratatouille. Sorry that I put Ratatouille so low on this list, but it's just never been one of my go-to films. I actually really didn't like Ratatouille when I was younger. As I've gotten older, this film has grown on me, so this is a film that kind of fluctuates in my list. I know in my previous ranking I did have it higher, but then when I made this list, it it changed. It kind of just, it's one of those average, to me, it's one of those average films. The music is decent. I do like how Remy the Rat teaches, see, I can't even remember the guy's name, how to cook, which is really cool. And it has a really good message about that anyone can do anything that they set their mind to if they just work for it, which is really inspiring. Especially, I can see that being inspiring for all ages, even adults as well. So I am going to give that a 7.5 out of 10. Number 14 is Monsters University. I did like how this is like a prequel to Monsters Inc. In a way, it would have been better in a way if this one came out before Monsters Inc. Or if they just did Monsters Inc. first like they did, they should have just done a Monsters Inc. 2 and not done like a prequel. Oh, I've kind of mixed emotions with this film. I like the college aspect of it. This is probably one of Pixar's more funny films. So, and this film always makes me laugh. I really like the characters a lot in this film. The animation is pretty solid. I do wish there's like more music kind of in a way with this film. It's the only downfall I'd give with this. So I'm going to give this film a 7.5 out of 10. Coming in at number 13 is one of Pixar's newer films, and that is Soul. And yes, I like Soul better than Inside Out. I do find these films similar in a way, like, because Inside Out you have the emotions like in Riley's head, so you're getting that aspect from like Riley doing everyday stuff, and then you see what's going on in Riley's head. But then in Soul, you see how the jazz teacher, the jazz musician, is going about his life, and then his soul in the soul world. So it's kind of a similar concept in a way, I would say, but I would say Soul is more geared towards older viewers, I would say. I did lose my attention span in this film, so that's why it's not gonna make my top 10, but I love the animation and where they were going with this film, and there is definitely some funny scenes that make up for more of the like not so interesting parts. And I would give Soul a 7.5 out of 10. So coming in at number 12, I feel like I put this higher on my list than a lot of people, and that is Finding Dory. I really do enjoy Finding Dory. I think this film is hilarious. Even though the plot is kind of choppy, to me, I think it works because Dory is kind of scattered and choppy. And for me, Dory can be a little bit too much at times, but I love her. I think she's adorable. And Nemo, I wish there was more Nemo and Marlin in this film. But in a way, I do like how Dory had the spotlight this time. So I would give Finding Dory a 8 out of 10. Coming in at number 11, I feel like I put this low on my list as well for some people, but this is all opinion based, guys, and that is the first Incredibles. I seen this film when I was younger, but I never really got into it, so I never, purchased the DVD till I got older. So I've seen this film a few times. The runtime, I would say, seems almost a little bit too long, in my opinion, but the action, the family dynamic in this film is some of the best, I would say. So I'm going to give The Incredibles an 8 out of 10. So this is my top 10 Pixar films. So coming in at number 10 is Toy Story 4. And yes, this is the weaker of the Toy Story films, I would say. Even though I would say the animation compared to the Toy Story films and in all these Pixar films, I would say Toy Story 4 has some of the best animation. I do like the new characters. I just wish they didn't dumb Buzz down and there's more of the original characters and maybe like Andy making a guest appearance. I have mixed emotions when people say the Toy Story trilogy should have ended with Toy Story 3. I can see that, but in a way, it was good to see Woody's ending to the story, because Woody wasn't done yet. Like, I know I've said in the previous Pixar rankings, even though Andy was done and grown up in Toy Story 3, Woody was not done with his story, so it was good to see Woody's ending. But then I wouldn't be too upset if there was a Toy Story 5. I'd still be interested in seeing it because I just adore all the Toy Story films so much. Coming in at number 9 is another one of Pixar's newer films, and that is Onward. This is the film that I feel like is the underrated gem of Pixar. I love the animation in this film. I think it's some of my favorite, actually. The character design, I love the character design in this film. It's a really kind of basic plot. I kind of wish there was more in a way to it, like a little bit more of an adventure. But I did like where they were going with it. They kept it kind of short and to the point, which I like a lot more than really choppy and long films. So Onward, I am going to give that an 8 out of 10. Coming in at number 8 is the second Incredibles film. And yes, I like the second Incredibles better than the first one. Which, I don't know, sounds weird to me to do that. Usually I like the first film out of like sequels or trilogies better. But no, I'm gonna be honest, I like Incredibles 2 better than the first one. I like how they had Elastic Girl in the main role, and the Jack scene just makes up for any like parts that kind of lag in the film. I love the Jack scene a lot. It's one of my favorites. It's super, super hilarious. So I am gonna give that an 8.5 out of 10. Coming in at number 7 is Pixar's newest film, and that is Luca. I love the movie Luca, even though it's one of Pixar's safer films, I would say. There isn't too much action and magic with this film. It's really kind of sweet and to the point. I like the dialogue between this film, and this is a film that has grown on me since I've watched it, and it's growing on me fast because I ranked this film actually as like an individual ranking or just a movie review on this film, and I gave it a 7 out of 10 then, but now I'm gonna have to give it an 8.5 out of 10. I really enjoy the movie Luca a lot. I think it's a fun adventure. I like where Pixar went with this. It was something a little bit different. So Luca's a great film. Coming in at number 6 is Finding Nemo, and this is a film that I grew up with, so there's a lot of nostalgia here. I love Marlin and Nemo and Crush and all the characters in this film. There's a lot of emotion with this film and excitement and adventure. So I'm gonna give this film an 8.5 out of 10. Number 5 is Toy Story 3. And I know once upon a time this was my favorite Pixar film, but a lot of the Toy Story films and these films in my top 5 fluctuate like hour by hour, day by day. They change all the time. So Toy Story 3 is one of Pixar's better films. I would say the animation's really good in this film. Lotso is one of Pixar's best villains. I would say I love all the new characters. I like how they made it more of like a jailbreak scene with the Sunnyside daycare. You get to see Andy growing up and giving his toys to Bonnie, which was really emotional. and there's a lot of humor in this film as well. So I'm going to give this film a 9 out of 10. Coming in at number 4 is, I'd say it's one of Pixar's newer films as well. It's a few years old, but it is the movie Coco. Now, Coco has my favorite animation in it. I love the music in this film and the story. The only reason why it feels like it fell a little bit short because the other films that I'm going to talk about have a lot more nostalgia and in it for me, and just a little bit more rewatchability to it. But Coco is a solid 9 out of 10 because there's a lot of emotion in Coco and a lot of humor in it as well. Coming in at number 3 is Toy Story 2, and I gotta agree, I feel like Toy Story 2 is kind of underrated compared to the other Toy Story films. I feel like it doesn't get enough attention as it deserves because there's a lot more characters added. They add on from Toy Story 1 perfectly, and I find this more of one of the more funny films of the Toy Story films and out of Pixar. So I'm going to give Toy Story 2 a 9 out of 10. Coming in at number 2, now my number 1 and 2 switch around all the time. So coming in at number 2 right now currently is Monsters, Inc. I absolutely love Monsters, Inc. I used to have a big, huge Boo doll plush thing when I was younger. I don't have her anymore. I don't know what happened to her. But I have a Sully plush. I just love the whole Monsters, Inc. franchise. I have a lot of Monsters, Inc. things, as well as Toy Story things, Monsters Inc. movies and the Toy Story movies. I just love them. They hold a really special place in my heart. The adventure in Monsters, Inc. I love a lot. The emotion, the humor. It's just a really fun movie to watch. So I'm going to give that a 9.5 out of 10. Coming in at number 1 is Pixar's first and original film is Toy Story. I absolutely love Toy Story. I'm obsessed with Toy Story. I've watched Toy Story so much that I've had to buy a whole new DVD, and I'm probably worrying about that DVD because I watched it still way too much. The Pizza Planet scene, or the Pizza Planet part of the film, is my favorite. I like how Woody and Buzz meet each other and they try to work together to work out their differences, even though the animation does kind of fall short to where Pixar is today. It is Pixar's first film, so I can't give it much hate there. And it's just a really, really fun film, just like Monsters, Inc. I could watch Monsters, Inc. and Toy Story all the time and not get tired of them. So Toy Story, I'm going to have to give it a 10 out of 10 today. So if you enjoyed my updated Pixar ranking list, comment down, please give me a big thumbs up, click that beautiful red subscribe button, and comment down below what are some of your favorite Pixar films or least favorite Pixar films. And we will see you in my next video, guys. Peace out.